can't imagine what that's like. I can't imagine to not be able to think straight and have people tell you you're imagining
You
it.
feel helpless, and it's frustrating as all hell, and you just want to like punch something. And yeah, I would stare at the wall. I would stare at the ceiling for like 8 hours a day. I couldn't look at my phone. I couldn't even play video games. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even think about ideas. Couldn't do YouTube. It was senior year of college. I was just barely skating by my classes. I had to go to my professors and be like, "Look, I can't think. Like, I know it's bullshit, but like I'll show you the video. Like, I'm seriously messed up in my head." And it was scary to think that I didn't feel like a human, and that the brain, how important it is. It's really everything.
And how, like you said, eventually, like you started to recover. It started to recover on its own, right?
Yeah, it was very gradual, baby steps, and I couldn't even exercise. It hurt to exercise. It hurt my head to move, to walk around and stuff. It was the weirdest thing. It felt like a shard of metal was just kind of shoved into my skull and was constantly there. It's so hard to explain. But yeah, it took about maybe 6 to 8 months till I was feeling a little better. And even now, like if it's a day where I'm thinking a lot or working harder, I start to feel this kind of fog, this brain fog. And it sucks.
And the reason I want to talk about this stuff is because I know there's a lot of people who watch me. They watch me because I deal with the mental disorders that I deal with, right?
Yeah.
We deal with the weight, issues and stuff like that. And we talk about it all the time here. And I don't feel like anybody ever really talks about this. And even though you've talked about it a little bit on your channel, you've never really told people the stories that I think you just told.
Yeah.
And I think that's like so important because I think people look at you and they see young, happy, healthy, normal Jesse, and they see that you're successful, and they're proud of you for that. They're excited for you. Yeah, some people get a little jealous, but for the most part, nobody knows that you also did this through chronic pain, through a mental issue, definitely an issue that you're still struggling with.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. I think we shared some things like that where it's like I'm usually an open person, and some of you guys that are watching talk about the brain, but it's not like a forefront anymore. It's like almost like I'm trying to like repress it and put it in the back of my mind, because like that was a dark time, and was suicidal for a bit, because I just really felt like a piece of shit. So to be out of it, I don't even want to think about it. But what I think the key is that even if doctors or people in your life aren't believing that your problems are problems, I think what got me through it was just like believing in myself and being kind of like my own self-advocate, going to the doctors and just like, hey, like this is an issue. Like you need to get that this is an issue. I know you can't see it, but you're not me. You don't feel the problems that I feel right now. I need help. And
that's crazy. That's insane. I've dealt with that my entire life, but I always felt like that was just me going through it. And to know that you've done it. And that's the thing. A lot of people I don't know. So we have a lot of mutual fans who just love this video.
Dude, you deal with a lot of shit. And guys, let me just vouch for Boogie here. He has a lot of comments that are like, oh, why don't you just fucking eat better? Why don't you just exercise? Why don't you do this? It's like, it's not that simple.
Right. I had less for breakfast than he did.
Yeah. I think I ate like twice as much for dinner last night too. Yeah.
Well, but I mean that's where I'm at now. That's the thing. It's a road to recovery. I'm dealing with the mental stuff. I'm dealing with the physical stuff. But we both have succeeded. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And so when people ask me, like, Boogie, we have a lot of mutual fans who like the race here, and they like me and Michael and everything else, and you, obviously, Angry Grandpa, Waffle Pone, going back to even that. Or the other Michael from Rooster Teeth that does they just like the race stuff, and that's great. There's people, I think, like us individually. And the reason I bonded with you is every time you've ever talked about this stuff, that made me wonder how much of the number one, to respect them, and number two, to wonder, because here's the thing, my viewers know this, your viewers will not know this. For me, Francis is very close to who I was growing up, dealing with mental issues, and dealing with the mental health and the anxiety, with the PTSD. Those Francis outbursts, they're the comical version, the fun version of the kind of outbursts that I might have experienced
from a real place.
From a very real place. Especially as a teenager, not so much as an adult, and certainly not so much now. But I've learned how to control my PTSD through therapy, through medication, and everything. But as a child, I would throw a desk across the classroom. I was famous for that.
He was telling me stories, and it's like, it's mind blowing. Yeah. Like it's a true success story of what Boogie's managed to do with his life is inspiring. There's like a huge takeaway.
This is for me to kiss your butt. I'm supposed to kiss my butt. This is for me to kiss your butt. But seriously, like I know that Francis is who I was. And Jesse, when I do the Jesse character, not this Jesse, but the southern accent, aggressive hillbilly. The point of that character is that's who I was. Boogie, who is who I wanted to be. This is the person you see here on YouTube is very much the ideal version of me, the person that I want to be, the best version of me.
Right.
And the character that you see when I stream 5 nights a week, that's probably closer to me with the stupid sense of humor and the goofy, to ride the mouse and eating Pokemon cards and all that stupid shit.
You didn't actually swallow this, did you?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I do know how to palm it to make it look like I swallowed it.
Oh, nice.
And the other thing, I don't know if you ever seen me do this, but this is a shtick I do in there.
What are you about to
I'll go like this.
Right.
And just eat part of the beard. It tastes like human hair. So it's fucking disgusting. But see, that's the thing. It's a palm. I'm palming. That's just sleight of hand. I'm not actually clipping anything. There's nothing there. But on this shitty web camera on stream,
it's all revealed.
It looks like so. Oh god. It was actually a hair though. But my question is, so I know how much of Francis is me.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
How much of the Psycho Kid is you?
Ooh, that's a good...
Like, is that just a cathartic thing for you? Or is that how you express, like, the fucking frustration with the mental shit, with the physical health shit? Or is it, I mean, are you a little bit crazy?
I think everybody is a little bit in their own way. Mine, it is a release for sure. I'm not an angry person. I'm very calm. I'm very chill. Like for those of you guys that meet me, I'm super just laid back.
He really is, by the way. I thought he was going to be like a jerk. I was afraid that you might be a bit of a jerk, but no, he's the sweetest fucking kid.
And then for playing the characters, it's very much a release of all that inner demons and shit, all that frustration. It gets to come out, and in my mind, it's a healthy way. It's like hiding. You call it hiding behind the character, but it's almost just like living in somebody else's shoes, getting to express yourself, so that real you doesn't have to deal with that fucking burden or the lash or the consequences.
Right. And I feel like we're kind of yin and yang stuff. I think because my background and my history is very Francis Esch, and now I'm trying to not be that person. I succeeded. I think very much that you are a pretty normal, healthy, happy kid who's taken all of this stuff in stride, and then that's a character that you've invented. Release some of that, some of the frustration that you can't express it.
Because there's some real basis behind it. I wanted to be a pro gamer. I wanted to be.
Yeah, this is amazing. I don't know if you guys did they know? Do your juggies know this story? I know my fans don't. But you were pro Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, we were the top team in the world on Left 4 Dead, the first one. The problem was my 3 guys were kicking ass, and it was the most fun ever. But it didn't get picked up by like MLG circuit,
which is a shame because that was such a good series.
Oh, it's so fun.
Gabe, if you're watching, and we know you're not, please release Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah.
So you can go right into Left 4 Dead 4.
We know it's coming. We've seen the leaked rumors and stuff.
Right. But they're never gonna make it. They never fucking.
No, it's deliver. Like dude, they're holding on to every sequel, and it's gonna come.
But that's the thing, and this is what you're telling me last night. Psycho series, a lot of it does reflect your own frustration, and people, I don't think people realize that. But you were trying to go pro gamer. Your dad was riding you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not Psycho Dad level, but definitely, you got to get a job. You're paying for your school. You got to get this shit figured out.
And I think and that's the beauty of it is everybody can relate to that. Right. Every kid. I know a lot of kids on YouTube. They want to be a YouTuber, which is weird for us because we started when that wasn't a thing.
Right.
And then for any fan of a video game, you want to be involved in gaming somehow.
Of course.
Like, why not? Like, that just sounds like a really awesome life.
I will tell you, and this is a parallel that I think about a lot. Your dad, who obviously bent over backwards to make YouTube happen for you. And obviously, sir, if you ever see this, thank you for doing this for this kid. I mean, holy crap. The perfect example of what your father's supposed to do. But at the same time, he was cautious about it.
He's cautious about you, too. You saw him in the video.
He's going to come home safe, I promise. He'll have at least 9 of his fingers and toes when he
gets there. Did you book that for?
I mean, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. The point that I'm making is...
Anyway.
The point that I'm making is... what was the point I was making?
Something about my dad.
Because now I'm thinking about... Yeah, your dad was cautious about it. He's like, you know, like I want YouTube for having you, but is it realistic? Is it a thing that'll happen?
Is it
I will tell you, my best friend in the world, my roommate, who you exchanged one word with last night before I was way to work. But when I was looking for a job and also making YouTube videos, and I couldn't find a job, and I put out 200 resumes, and I just could not find work because people get one look and they would walk away. They don't want to put me on their healthcare plan, you know. He's like, "Are you still working on the YouTube thing?" And one day I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm going to apply for jobs anymore. I think I'm just focused exclusively on YouTube for a while." And I had disability to support that, but that was like $700 a month or whatever it was. Like I think it was $700, $800, $900, just barely enough to survive. So if YouTube didn't work, I was going to fall apart. And he's like, "I don't know if you should put all your eggs in one basket." And obviously, I did put all my eggs in one basket, and it did pay off.
But that's like the realistic response. It's like the odds of it succeeding. You got to go with the odds on that one. It's like, well, but we're both deluded as fuck, so it made sense in our mind.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think about Bo Burnham a lot, and Bo Burnham says, you know, that's the thing, we tell everybody that everyone can be successful. And that's not true, only a handful of people will be successful. But that's the thing. Bo says, you know, I was born into a privileged situation. Bo, my favorite musician, comedian, fucker. But he says in an interview, he says, look, you know, I was born into a privileged position, and I had everything going for me, and I still got lucky, and I'm still miserable. That's what he says in the Conan interview. But you think about that, there's a lot of luck in what you and I have had an incredible amount of luck. But at the same time, we created luck. Like you talked about working at the bank every day. You talked about being a shop bitch. You talked about mowing with your dad. And if you settled for that and did not take the risk, that's what you'd be doing right now. You'd be mowing, doing local theater.
And then technically you could argue that YouTube didn't work out. Because I didn't try. I just gave up.
Right. I mean, but that's the message I always try to send at home. Like you can't create luck, but you can create opportunities for luck.
Right.
And if you don't take the risks, if you don't take the shots, if you don't create that opportunity and open the world up to you, then you don't succeed. And I was at a point. Like you were at a point where pretty much no matter what direction you were going to go in, you were going to be okay. You wouldn't have been wildly successful living your dreams, but you were going to be okay.
Right.
I was at destitute. You know, I was miserable. I couldn't work. I wanted to work. I was trying to collect on disability, but I was too disabled to actually work. I had nothing. I had one shot, and I took the shot, and it worked.
And maybe that helped, honestly. Maybe it helped that it was all or nothing.
I don't think I would have been as brave as you. I don't think I could have walked away from a decent paying job at a bank and said, you know what, I quit. What did you say to her when you quit?
I told her, I was like, I quit, I can't do this. And she said, what are you going to do now? I was like, I'm going to be a big YouTuber.
What's that? You know what the fuck it was, right?
It's like, all right.
All right, well, that's...
Go, sure.
Okay.
Whatever you say.
You may well said, I'm going to be a Prussian prince one day. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that means.
It was a ballsy fucking thing to say to her, too. Yeah. I don't know, but that's how delusional I was. That's how badly I wanted it. And yeah, that's the thing, I think, for any of you guys aspiring to be something, you know, or have these big dreams, I think it's very easy to be looking at the easy, safe choice and almost have that as a fallback, and it almost limits you from really excelling at what you want to be doing, because it's like, oh, I mean, I'll be all right regardless. It's not as dire. Like if it's desperate.
You had that safety net underneath you of a loving family who would help make sure you found the right place. It could take over your student loans if they needed to, had a room for you to sleep in, and you used everything that you had to your advantage to take reasonable risks. And I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. Man, has it paid off for you. It's been incredible. And
thank you guys.
the other thing that I really respect about you, since this is about kissing your ass, the other thing that I really respect about you.
Hold on, I'm bending over. We can do that.
You bring like some real sketch comedy to YouTube when it's kind of vacant there. And it's still improv. You turn a little bit through your enthusiasm. I think that's very accurate. That's what I think the best stuff on YouTube is. And I've seen how you work because we're working together right now. We're filming together right now. I love the fact that you're one of the very few people telling a story stuff. You know, not a lot of people try to use their channel to tell a long story, an interesting story. A lot of people try to use their channel to just one and done. This will go viral. This stands alone. But a handful of YouTubers like Casey Neistat is kind of telling a series, and you are certainly telling a series. And I think YouTube doesn't get to be it's more of a Good Mythical Morning kind of atmosphere where every episode stands on itself, and you might come back for more, but even if you don't, that one video, that one skateboarding video, or that one prank video that goes viral, people stand on those laurels.
Right.
You're one of the very few people that, while every Psycho series, all 700 videos in the Psycho series stands alone, they also tell a very cohesive
long narrative is where it's at, and yeah, it's a hard thing to be telling stories on YouTube, because it's like you could just do a vlog at that point, and that's why the style has become like, let's do the skit mixed with vlog and tell a story, because I want there to be substance to it. I don't like just entertaining people. I want there to be some kind of moral, some kind of purpose, some takeaway. Because YouTube very much is just like tabloids. We're in the golden age of drama and clickbait and using people's names and diss tracks and all this shit. Where it's like, yeah, it's entertaining, but what's it actually doing?
And I'll say the other thing that I think is interesting, and I just want to get on record. Okay? So you answer this question if you're comfortable answering this question, because this is a loaded question here. I mean, this is
loaded baked potato.
I met you 2 years ago, and I was only slightly familiar with the content. I had seen most of the Psycho virals at that point. I'd only checked out maybe 1 or 2 vlogs, but I don't have a lot of time to watch 21 to 30 days.
Right.
So I've seen only scarce little bits and pieces of that.
Did you just give Scarce a shout out there?
I guess I did. Hey guys, today we're talking about Jesse Ridgway, very big character, very big channel, 3.5 million views. Wow, I'm even fatter than Scarce. Sorry. That's the meme. I think that's the meme. I don't know much about the...
I think
I think that's the meme. He's supposed to be fat, but he's not actually fat.
Yeah, he wears plaid.
He wears plaid, I think it's the thing. Anyway, but you're distracting me from the loaded question.
Sorry, it's rambling.
You can't handle this. You can't handle a big, hard hand.
Hit me!
All right. So I asked you a question. I said to you, I said, so how much of this is real? And then I said, you know what? I don't want to know. I'd rather not know. I'd rather have the illusion. But since then, you've just come out and told the world that this Psycho series is scripted, and that not everything we do on camera is real.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, like, even down to your vlogs, how much of that's real, Jesse? How much you put on the internet?
That is a loaded question, because if I say it's 100% fake, then it's like, well, what the hell?
Then what's real, right?
What's real? Who is Jesse Ridgway?
What about 90%?
Is this Jesse Ridgway? Does that mean
what
this
about
is
80%? Because like I watched the vlogs where when I really started getting into your content and found the time to watch was when you were revamping the house. I forget whose house it was.
It was my Aunt Jackie's second house. I was moving out.
I was trying to find the real reason you were revamping that house.
Right.
Was the storyline really real? I had my
what did you think?
Thoughts about the divorce or the separation. I thought that couldn't be real, but maybe that is real.
Oh, it was real, and then I just created a story around it.
Right. So like, I never knew. Are you creating these events to tell the story around, or are you telling the story around the events that are already happening anyway?
95% fake.
Right. And so here's the thing. And me and my wife were laying in bed last night after our first night hanging out with Jesse. And my wife says, man, he's the sweetest kid I've ever met. I really like him, and I like Parker. And she goes, I don't tell him this. So, oops. She's like, don't tell him this. But I was kind of afraid after seeing some of the videos, especially the ones with Michael, that maybe he was going to be a little bit of a jerk.
Right.
So the point that I'm making is, don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything.
And that's across the board. That's not even just like, the McJuggernaut's YouTube channel or a Francis skit. That goes to every fucking YouTuber.
Right. Be cynical. Be cynical. Use your analytical brain is the best thing that you have. Be cynical. Doubt everything you hear, every piece of news, everything. Do the research for yourself. Dig into yourself. Figure out what you believe. You don't have to believe what somebody told you.
Right.
If somebody tells you the Psycho series is real or the Psycho series is fake, you make your own decision and stand by that.
That's a good lesson. Yeah, because it's like we've seen it on both sides. We've seen, like, not dropping any names or anything, but we've seen YouTubers that play an asshole. Right. They have an asshole, narcissistic kind of like dickish attitude in their videos. They meet them in real life, and they're the nicest, awesomest, greatest people in the world. Then on the flip side,
I notice how neither of us are willing to drop any names.
Hell no. Right. Then you have those people that are like really nice, like the best side version of themselves, and then you see them off YouTube and they're fucking assholes.
I've only met a handful actually. 99% of the people, even the people that YouTubers generally think, viewers think are villains on YouTube, turn out to not be that shitty.
Yeah.
In person or in real life.
Needed once
A couple of them. I do have a couple people on my channel, but I'll never fucking say that on video.
Michael Green?
Oh, worse. I can't believe him, like, exploiting his grandfather that way. All that's 100% real.
No, it is real.
Like,
You'd be shocked, dude. You'd be fucking shocked.
You know, I would, again, Michael, please get mad at me if you want to, that's fine. But I will tell you, I once asked Michael, 4 years ago, right after the pecan pinwheel video, and people don't know that pecan pinwheel video directly inspired the Mountain Dew rage. Like, there's even lines that parallel what Grandpa said in it. And that, of course, was my most viral video for a really long time. That makes sense, actually. Right, like the fact that the Mountain Dew's in the microwave is because Grandpa kept the pinwheels behind the microwave. So I asked Michael one day, I'm like, Michael, how much of this that I'm seeing? Because I'm looking for that, because that's how I grew up. Like, Grandpa would be one of the nicest people in my family. You know, the psycho kid would be the sane version of me, you know, growing up. And so I asked him, I said, how much of that is real? And he goes, well, here's the thing. Dad's always been awesome. But when the camera's on, he ramps it up a little bit. And that's his fucking life.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, nothing but love and respect for that. But that's the reason I feel so close to Michael, is because that was my life too. And that's why I feel so close to you. I respect what you do with YouTube. I respect what you do with everything else. I love the opportunity to be on the channel and to say hi to the juggies, but more importantly, entertain people on that level, because, you know, you get so many more people who enjoy these videos we create.
What are your names?
I don't have a name for them. Again, I've never...
Live through the power of the internet, and you don't have...
Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube.
So they're ladies
and gentlemen of YouTube, right? Because that's how I view everybody. Everybody's a nice lady or a nice gentleman.
Alright, I like that.
Right? There was once at one point somebody recognized Boogie, K-N-I-G-H-T-S, Boogie Knights.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was a WoW...
And that's my WoW guild. Yeah. And if we ever create a guild in a game, that's what we call them. Is the Boogie Knights. I guess that would be my gamers, the people who play stuff with me. But everybody else is just this is a thing that nobody ever thinks of. We talked about this last night. I've been giving them all kinds of tricky shit that exists in my brain. And I'm like, you know, when you think about it, I will go to a concert or I'll watch one of my favorite comedians, and they'll sell out the house, and the house will be 1,000 people. And that's a big deal for Kevin Hart when he came here to the Amp, and he sold 1,500 tickets. 1,500 people. But you and I, when we make a video, 1,500 views is what we get in the first 60 seconds. 15,000 is what we get in the first 5 minutes.
It is pretty crazy.
And 1.5 million is your average range for a lot of videos, right? Oh, I mean, but seriously.
Back in the day, or in the series.
Right, but I mean, 1.5 million people, and that's not a number. That's a person. Yeah. Every person, every view, every one of those is a person just as valid and just as important and just as real, with just as many experiences and opinions and feelings and emotions and a life.
It's all
just as rich and important as you and I.
It is.
And that's what's fascinating about all this. It's difficult for me I feel personally, if I were to label them as something, that to me wouldn't help. I would lose the identity of that each individual person. Right. And when I get that fan mail, when I get that email, when I read that comment, that's from a person. That's not from my fan base. That's not from them as a group. That's from a person. And I try to remember that all the time. And that's, you know, tonight, me and you are hanging out. If you see this video the day it goes up, we're going up to Arcadia Retrocade in Fayetteville. We're going to do a meet and greet. You want to come play some video games? You want to do some selfies?
Because it's not even like you have to pay to use arcade games. You pay
$5 to get in the door,
and then you play unlimited
all night for free. Yep. I love that place. You haven't even seen it yet. You don't even know what you're in store for. I'll show you one of my birthday videos after this, and you'll get an idea of how many games. I think he has currently. He's just set up the second room, but it's not open yet. But he's got like 60 pinball machines refurbished in there. He's got like 130 total arcade cabinets that he owns. I think only 80 are on the floor right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think, but that's a year ago, the statistics. I'm sure he's added more to the catalog. Oh, there goes the dog.
See, I love that dog. Guys, you don't understand. The dog's awesome.
All right, we should wrap that up then, and I'll go see why the dog is losing its mind.
I wanted to say for a second, like you were saying with the numbers thing, it's like you talk about the most personal thing, the most personal life issues. That'd be like you going on stage and just letting it all out into the audience. There's nothing quite like that. And it's like, okay, congratulations, he talks about his problems, but in a world where everybody hides their problems, that's one thing I do. I play these characters and stuff and express myself, but it's been a while since I do a video where I'm talking real genuine about shit. But then again, I don't really have much shit to talk about. But for something like you and your whole story, when you have these videos where you talk about your there's so many other people going through shit like you, and just how much of an impact that has on you. It's unreal.
That's what I don't think you realize. What draws me to your work is all that shit that I went through, all that drama, all that messed up stuff. You produce a comical version of that, and I know you expressed to me one point, you know, and I think even when you were talking to Michael in one of your videos, like you make fun of what I experienced. But to me, making fun of that heals me.
Right.
Like, you know, like to see the comical version of that, to see the funny version of that, to see the absurdity of it. You know, that helps me sleep at night, and that's why I was always drawn to